Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of a Thursday morning with the NARBE House. Welcome in. Nancy's getting Ben in the chair today, so Ben is actually going to be in the wheelchair to hang out with us, which is great because he usually doesn't get into the chair until the afternoon. You know, maybe around noon, 11:30, noon, something like that. And then if we're streaming, we usually wait till after the stream. But today he was up to get in the chair a little bit earlier, so we'll see how that goes, which is awesome. I'm going to give you guys a few updates on what I've worked on for Ben's Hub. So for anyone who's watching this or who checks out the VOD, I will be going through just the updates on what I've accomplished for the Hub. So as many of you know, we have a nonprofit. I volunteer my time to the nonprofit by creating some apps, and I also create some guides, and we're also looking for more people to join our community to help us out and volunteer their expertise and time to basically promote this idea of coding or vibe coding, these bespoke solutions, kind of like what we created for Ben. And our focus is really on tools and games, not so much the communication side, even though the communication side is very important. Since we are not SLPs, speech language pathologists, or occupational therapists or assistive tech experts, we typically are just going to be making games and tools that suit Ben and people like Ben. But our foundation covers all types of people and all types of needs. So the goal is to create free or very low cost accessibility software that could be adaptive tech communication devices, augmented assistive communication tools. The idea is, though, to give more people access to, entertainment and things to do, So like, for example, our hub, which I'll show in a second, has a YouTube search. It has a few games. It has a phrase board that you can actually input YouTube videos. So like if you have a playlist that you want someone to look at specifically and maybe they can't type as well, they can scan to those YouTube playlists and play them on their browser. And it's all independently accessible. So as long as you can access one or two buttons or one or two input methods, I shouldn't even say buttons, that are mapped to spacebar or return or just return if it's auto scanning, you can access those features. So that's the idea for us. And for me, it's all about volunteering my time and putting a lot of that stuff up online. On our website, on the NARBE House website, there is an opportunity, or there is the choice to donate or pay what you want for these things. That just helps it maintain sustainability. I'm going to do this anyway. Anything people, want to donate or tip, I shouldn't even call it donating, it's tipping. Anything you guys want to tip helps out our family. And if you want to donate to the foundation, that goes directly to the foundation and to our initiatives. So we have a board that decides on initiatives. A couple of our initiatives are, I should show it, but are basically creating hardware, developing new tools, hardware, hiring developers, doing gaming events and competitions for creating games like what I create. The idea is to build awareness around accessibility when it comes to tools, entertainment, and games. That's our biggest push right now. And then the other side of things is hosting resources and educational material so that way people can access this stuff and use it. I know that there's a lot of families out there who are going through it. My family went through it too. There was a lot of times where we thought to ourselves, hey, who's going to come and help Ben? What kind of devices, what kind of tools are out there? And none of them really spoke to Ben in a way that he would want to use them consistently until I created one for him that he can use on his own that is tailored to his needs and to his capabilities. And that is the point, is trying to figure out those little things and figure out how to build something that someone can use and enjoy using and really enjoy it, right? That's the thing. It's enjoyment, bringing enjoyment back to it. So that's what this is. Anyway, who is the board? Okay, so the board, good question, Bacon Gaming. Welcome in, everyone. I'm not really paying attention too much to chat. I apologize. Our board consists of myself and Nancy. I'm the chair. Nancy is the vice chair. We have 3 of our close friends and colleagues who decided that they would help us on this mission. One of them is a friend of mine named Tim. He is a video production guy and a guy who's all about retro gaming. He has a lot of connections in our local area, and he wanted to help us out because he's close to my family and close to Ben. And yeah, he understands what we need. And then I have 2 friends in the DC area who I met actually through Twitch, who understands the importance of gaming and inclusion because they both stream on Twitch and promote that aspect. They also promote fitness and stuff like that too, which is something that's close to our heart, but not necessarily has anything to do with the NARBE Foundation. But I think they just understand why it's so important to do what we're doing. And yeah, so they're on our board. Potentially going to be expanding the board in the next couple of years, depending on what our initiatives look like and how much it grows. Right now, our foundation's very small. You know, we have our initiatives in front of us, which we have our guidelines and our mission statement and what we're here for, which is essentially just creating tools, mostly education and resources, but also creating tools and harnessing a community of volunteers who will create tools and teach people how to create their own tools for these bespoke situations, these bespoke softwares that we're trying to develop and applications we're trying to develop. There's nothing that we're trying to create that is going to be, and I shouldn't even say we as if it's the NARBE Foundation. The foundation itself does not create software. It is a facilitator of applications and software. It's a facilitator of ideas and community. That is what the foundation is all about. It's all about building community, finding volunteers, people like myself and Nancy build some stuff and some other people in our community who are building hardware. It's all about proliferating the stuff so that way people can access it, low cost, free, and then being able to do it themselves, whether it's 3D printing buttons or it's opening up ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude and saying, hey, I need to build a software for my friend who has these specific limitations. What can I do? That's the idea of our foundation. So essentially our operating costs are pretty low. I just need to make sure we're forthcoming about that. Our operating costs are pretty low because Nancy and I and people on the board, there's no money that goes to individuals. All the money goes to operating expenses, which are essentially like things like hosting, things like subscriptions that we might need, even like hiring developers and stuff who might help us out with like website design or helping us with some other aspects that would essentially help with the accessibility factors and the accessibility portion of what we're trying to do. But we're not even there yet. So the idea is like we're raising money, and I think we've raised like $7,000 or $8,000. Me and Nancy put in some money ourselves to get this thing going. And the idea is really just to facilitate community, facilitate a place where people can grow and develop these tools. We're making a lot of friends, we're making a lot of connections in the space, and I think what we're doing is a little bit different. I think what we're doing is trying to harness a following, harness the NARBE House kind of storytelling, the stuff we do with our shorts and the stuff with you guys coming in and hanging out with us, basically telling Ben's story, getting Ben involved because Ben is the biggest part of this. He's the one who kind of directs us on what we're going to be building. Like I don't say, hey Ben, I'm going to build this for you. I talk with Ben, me and Ben hang out, and I say, what else would you like? And then I work on that, and then if he likes it, we continue growing it, right? So right now I'm building a baseball game, and I have a YouTube feature and stuff. Anyway, welcome in, guys. Luke, welcome in. Best wishes from Dallas. Thank you. Are you guys open to volunteers? Yeah, so we're going to be releasing some guidelines and a handbook for volunteers just to make sure we're on the up and up. The community can always submit games. The community can always submit unique tools and ideas. So that is the idea. I want the community to start feeling empowered to submit ideas and think outside the box for specific use cases. So if you have an idea for a game, and maybe it's like, I have a developer guide on the website for narbehouse.github.io. There's a developer guide that says basically the needs for Ben specifically, the 2-button access, how 1 button should be thought about too for auto scanning and things like that. But it goes through the entire thing. So if someone goes through that developer guide and says, okay, I understand what the inputs are, how can I make a game that can kind of work with these inputs? That's everything that we do that's the thought process, right? There are 2 inputs. How can we make a really engaging, fun tool or game that Ben can access easily, that he can understand and work? So when I built his Messenger app, for example, I was like, it needs to have big text. It needs to be easily readable. It can't have a ton of like previous history messages. It just needs to be easy to use, right? I developed it out so that way that was the focus. And then we worked on it together, created a messenger app. Now Ben sends messages, right? He has never done that in his life. But I was able to work with him and figure out what works to make that happen. And that's what I'm hoping more people in the community will do, whether you know someone like Ben or know someone who needs help or anything, or you're someone who comes in the community and maybe you need access or maybe you need some tools. The community can maybe come together, volunteer their time, and help build some tools as well for those types of situations, right? That's the idea. So it's not just a volunteer. The volunteers would be more or less for like, you know, maybe if we were getting volunteers specifically for very specific initiatives that the board decides on. The community itself, it's just our whole thing as far as a board and as far as a foundation is just facilitating the community and making sure the community stays on track, right? But we're the ones who kind of just like guide it based on our mission. That's all. Okay, so let me show you guys a couple things before we go upstairs and hang out with Ben. I don't know if Ben's in the chair yet. Nancy will tell me. She is NARBE House chatting right now, so she'll let me know. But let me pull up this GitHub real quick. So let me see. Can I turn this? Wrong way. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys see this very well. I'll make it a little bit bigger. But here's what this is. So there is a website that's available called narbehouse.github.io. There's a developer guide at the top right. If you click on the developer guide, it'll give you a little bit of insight on how to develop 1 or 2 button games and tools based on what I've learned building stuff for Ben. Right? So we have core principles, right? So it talks about spacebar controls, return controls, mouse or touch inputs, right? All of our stuff is mapped to spacebar and return. That's pretty typical when it comes to using Windows-based or most inputs for 2 switch controls, right? Everything needs to be upon release, for example. When he clicks, when he releases, that's when it selects or that's when it moves forward, because Ben has a hard time clicking and releasing, so there needs to be a release mechanism that actually scans forward and things like that. But all that stuff is on here. Visibility, how mechanics should work. It gives an example at the end about Ben's P3GL game. There's a lot of stuff in here that is very helpful for people if they want to learn how to build these games. And we're trying to build a library of games for people to use with just 2 switch access. And it's not, these games aren't meant to be like just like kid games. I don't want to call them kid games. There will be more like kid game type things like this. The game of Simon is pretty, you know, kid friendly. The game of concentration is pretty kid friendly, but like the Peggle game, it's probably a little bit of an older audience. I don't know. It depends on like what you're used to and what you're able to play. But the Peggle game, or the Peggle style game, I should say, is one of those games that's just simple to play. It's fun to watch. It's easy, right? But there are other games that I'm trying to build, and I'm going to show you one of them in a minute, that, you know, have a little bit of, you know, maybe a competition aspect to it. Maybe they have some strategy-based stuff, and I'm going to show you. And you can do that with just 2 buttons, and there's not enough games that have really cool visuals that just use 2 buttons. There's not enough of them, and there's definitely not enough of them that someone can access in their own hub where they don't need a caregiver or someone helping them every step of the way. That is one thing that I find most powerful about what I'm building, is Ben now has a hub that he can access independently. That means he can access his shows and movies, his communication boards, his chat messenger, his games, his web search. Everything is accessible by himself. He does not need anyone to help him. So that makes this so much more powerful. It's a level of independence that not a lot of people get because these things are siloed. Usually these things are separated, and it's like, oh, do you want to play this game? Let me get you this game set up, and then we'll set up your controls. No, these are set up for him when he just clicks and goes. That is what's so powerful about this, okay? And I'm going to show you, I'm going to go into the hub right now just to show you again. I know we've gone over this before, but I want people to understand why this is.
Use full screen for the best experience. Tools menu, press space, home menu, settings menu, press
voice change to UK, text to speech enabled.
Oh, it's because it's on upstairs. Am I hearing myself twice again? I hope not. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, good.
Voice change to UK, home menu,
okay.
Press spacebar to start scanning.
I'm gonna lower the volume a little. Okay, here we go. So, tools real quick, just to get into this.
Press spacebar to start scanning.
There is now a YouTube search. I haven't tested this lately, so hopefully it works still. But this is the same thing. Enter. Basically, press spacebar to scan.
Controls.
Enter.
A, B, C,
to
D,
type.
F.
Okay, so we'll just type. We'll actually type something out. N A. So NARBE's in there because I put it in there, but we'll just do NARBE.
R B E.
Space house.
U S.
Okay, so you could type this out by scanning through them.
GHI
Okay.
MNOPQR.
And then you go up and you click YouTube search.
Searching video. Previous.
And it will pull up our videos. It'll pull up your videos.
Come on.
Okay. So this
Next.
works for anyone.
This is my brother
All right.
Ben,
Next.
and he wants to show.
Next.
All right.
Rewind.
Welcome
Fast.
to our house. Come on
Pause.
in.
Come on.
Unmute.
I guess I got.
Muted.
Okay. So
Close.
this is a fully accessible YouTube search for people, right?
Closed.
You can look up movies on this too. I think like YouTube might have some free movies and stuff, but you can look up your favorite YouTuber. You can look up, things you want to learn. It's a YouTube search, right? So that's the point of this. And people, this is something that doesn't really exist in a lot of software. And this can be done with auto scanning. It can be done with your standard spacebar and return buttons.
Return to menu. Press spacebar to start scanning.
Yeah, so that's that. There's a couple things I want to update on
Opening YouTube search.
Let me just make sure. I don't know if
return
auto
to
scan
menu.
works on that.
Home menu. Setting.
Let me see if
Home
auto
menu.
scan works
Tool.
on it.
Tool. Opening YouTube search.
No, I'll put auto scan on this too. So this doesn't have the auto scan set up. So I will have a settings on here so that way auto scan works on this too. But essentially, this is the beta release of this whole software. So I'll write that down.
To
so we
menu.
do that. All right.
Back.
Anyway, so now there's a YouTube on
Filter
here.
by genre.
There's
Keyboard.
Keyboard. There's a phrase board and media
home
board.
Menu.
You have
Tool.
games.
Games menu.
Okay, there's going to be more games
Back.
on this pretty soon. So we have
Filter by
concentration,
genre.
tic-tac-toe, Benny
Benny's
says,
P3GL game.
all that
Benny
stuff.
says. Concentration. Tic-tac. Back.
This is on auto scan.
Tools.
So
Settings menu. Back. Background. Text to speech.
something changed. I don't know what happened.
Tools. Tools menu. Back. Home menu. Set. Back. Back. Background
Something
theme
like,
change.
there's
to
glitches
default.
on this thing. It's beta, so don't
Home
get on me about it.
Press spacebar to
right.
start scanning.
So let me show you the game I'm working on. Okay, so that way you guys can kind of see what's going on behind the scenes. So this is what I'm working on right now. This is going to be Ben's new baseball game. He has a baseball game currently, and this is going to be his new baseball game. Now, I'm not done with it, so there's going to be glitches and stuff, but I'll show you guys what this looks like. So there's music.
Settings. Sound effects.
You can change the music.
Next track.
There's chill music.
Reset
There's a bunch of
season.
different music.
Back.
Sound effects, all that stuff.
Benny's
okay?
baseball game.
Again, this is all accessible with just spacebar and return.
Choose game mode.
So we'll play just an exhibition.
Choose your team
You can play a
color for
season
exhibition.
where you can play, it's
Current
8
selection,
games. And then
red.
if you win 6 out of 8 games, you go to playoffs. If you win all 8 games, you go directly to championships. If you win the playoff game, you go to the championships. And then you're essentially playing a season of baseball. Okay.
Play team
you can play
blue,
different team colors.
Yellow.
Will be yellow, sure.
Play ball button. Yellow versus pink.
Okay.
Bottom of the first
It
game.
auto picks what team you're
batting.
playing against. All right. And yeah.
Choose your pitch.
So this is really cool. So that way you can
Fastball.
you can see
Throwing
the pitches
fastball.
getting thrown.
Computer batter. Strike. Choose your pitch. Fat curveball. Throwing curveball. Computer batter. Single.
It shows the animation of the
Choose your pitch.
of the batters going to the bases and stuff. Sega, what's up, dude?
Fastball. Throwing fastball.
There's going to be warnings
Computer
for
batter. Strike.
if you
Choose
throw
your
a pitch too many times in a row. It will warn you and say that, like, basically what's going to happen is the other team's going to get used to it and it'll have a bonus for getting hits. So it'll warn you saying, hey, you've thrown this pitch too many times. The other team's going to nail it and they're going to hit home runs. So it's basically like that.
No option. Fastball. Throwing computer batter. Caught by CF.
So it's a very simple
Choose
game,
your pitch.
but it's going to
Fat
be,
curveball.
it has
Throwing
like levels
slider.
to it that
Computer
are,
batter. Ball.
that are whatchamacallit,
Choose your pitch.
strategic, right? It's going to have a walk button too. It doesn't have it in here, but there's an
Fastball.
intentional walk button So essentially, when a player shows up near the base, that little pink guy down there, when he shows up next to the home base, if he has like a little on fire icon, that means he is someone who you don't want to mess with. You can intentionally walk him if you want, or you can risk it and throw pitches at him. So that's another aspect of this game.
Fastball.
There's a lot of things that I'm building into this, so that way it's really fun to play, right? I'm trying to make it so it's mobile friendly, but it's not something that I would say I would play on a mobile site. It's much better on a tablet or something.
Throwing curveball.
But yeah, Ben hasn't played this yet. He hasn't messed with it yet. I still probably have a few more days of work to do. Again, this is all vibe coding. I don't know a lick of programming language. I just tell the AI what I want. I walk through it. You know, it built out the structure for me. So these are all this is Visual Studio Code using Copilot. Right now I'm using Sonnet 4 by Claude. It's actually the best for visuals. And it seems to get what I'm trying to do.
Fastball.
And yeah, I mean, obviously it has its issues, but it's better and better every month, guys. Every single month they release something different. It's just so much better to understand what I'm trying to do. And that's the thing, is you eventually are just going to be able to tell an LLM a paragraph about something you want to build, and it will build it for you to such a degree of accuracy, especially if you're detailed enough, that you're not going to have to mess with it too much. This was built, I mean, it took me like about 3 weeks to actually build the base baseball game. That was back in March. So in March, I built Ben his base game, and his base game looks like this. I'll actually show it to you guys just so you can understand where this came from. So this is Ben's computer software. I'll go to his games. Let me launch his baseball game. Let's say open with Python. So this will be just his baseball game.
Ben's
hopefully
baseball game.
So this is his
play game.
This is his standard baseball game. Okay.
And 0 outs.
It's hideous, right?
Pitcher throws ball.
But
normal swing. Foul.
It's one of those games that I built for Ben, and he likes playing it, right?
Foul.
And all it does, it doesn't have player animations, it doesn't have ball animations. It does have a handful of ball animations, but you get home runs, grand slams, and all this stuff. But it's just a simulator game. Gets you through 9. Gets you through. You saw that little animation. Anyway, the idea is you play the game. Hopefully, it doesn't load his app. It might load his app. It essentially plays a baseball game, and I'm like, how can I make this game even better? So I sat down and I said, I want to make this a web app, and I want to make sure other people can play it too on Ben's hub. So I decided to make this for Ben, make it as cool as possible, give it a season mode. You know, obviously it's not like it's basically plays like an NES game, right? Or like a SNES game, mostly an NES game or an Atari game, whatever. The idea is it just has some elements of fun and engagement, right?
Fastball. Throwing computer batter.
It can get better and better and better. I can update it over time. I can do animations where like maybe it shows this mode, and then like when I go to choose a pitch or when I go to choose a bat, it'll zoom in down to the field, and then it'll show the characters throwing the pitch or swinging. You don't control it, but it'll just be an element of engagement, right? It'll be an element that will engage the player a little bit more. But for now, this is what it's going to look like.
Fastball. Throwing fast computer batter.
It has the animations, it has all this stuff.
Choose your pitch.
You can steal bases and stuff.
Fastball.
Let me bust through this so that way
strike.
Maybe we can show you the pitching mode. I mean the batting mode.
Batter. Single.
I'm going to lose. Bases are loaded. I can't give up a home run.
Choose your pitch. Throwing knuckleball. Computer batter. Strike. Choose your pitch. Throwing slider.
Yeah, this is a big step up. This is the thing.
Strike.
My whole goal right now is taking Ben's games and improving them, incrementally improving them, and then putting them online for people to use, for Ben to use, obviously to play, but for other people online to use too, right? So that's what Ben's hub is all about. So these games are fun enough, like as a time sink for anyone. That's what I want. I want these games to be fun for anyone to play. Like a lot of accessibility games are geared toward children, or geared toward, like I don't know. It's geared toward like very rudimentary, aspects, right? It's not, I think like Ben would get sick of playing a Simon type game that I built, right? It's fun for like, a few minutes or whatever, or like a half hour just to mess around, but it's not something that you play over and over and over again. I'm trying to figure out how to make games that people want to come back and play over and over and over again. A baseball game like this that gets updated periodically is something that people will want to come back and keep playing, right? It gives like some level of entertainment and freedom and independence, and I want that to be like the very heart of what I'm doing, is giving people a level of independence and presuming competence in a big way, you know, saying, here's how a baseball game is run. You just need 2 buttons to play it. Anyone can play it, right? Easy to see. Everything is text to speech. You have all your options at your fingertips. That is my goal. Okay. And again,
pitching result.
It's not going to be for everybody, but it'll cover a large population of people. I mean, if I can play it and Ben can play it, I'm hoping more people will be willing to play and you know, have fun.
Change up pitch incoming. Result. Strike.
I want you guys to see the
pitcher throws the ball.
Some of these animations.
Slider pitch incoming. Result. Single.
Okay, so you saw the ball go, and then you saw the single. So now I'm gonna try stealing a base.
Pitcher throws the ball.
I changed the steal, so this is a problem.
Steal successful.
Okay, it worked. Okay, so steal is working. Okay, so I'll try to steal third base.
The ball.
I'm gonna try to steal third.
Steal failed.
Failed. So
runner is out.
I got thrown out.
Throws the ball.
What I'm gonna do is make it so that way the pitcher will throw. If the steal fails, before the steal fails, the pitcher will throw to the baseman of where the steal failed to. So that's the goal, is to show that too. So that'll be another little element of it.
Fastball pitch result. Ball.
Yeah. So this is the game.
Pitcher throws the ball.
You get 9 innings. It goes into extra innings if you're tied. And once whoever wins, and then that goes toward your record for the season. There's a pause menu at the bottom here.
Game
when
pause.
For someone with a mouse, they can click on the pause menu.
Game paused.
Okay.
Resume
or
game.
if you hold down return, if you just hold down return for 3 seconds,
game pause.
It'll bring up the pause menu. Okay. So anytime you hold down the return key, it'll bring up a pause menu as well. Okay. You can go into your settings. You can turn the music off. Turn it back on if you like. You can change the music if you're sick of
Next
it.
Track.
Okay. You can
change to male.
Voice change.
You can change the voices, right? You have text to speech on or off.
Sound effects disabled.
All this stuff is accessible.
Enabled.
Okay. You reset your season.
Reset.
If you're sick of playing and if you're losing your season and you want to restart it, you can reset your whole season.
Game.
This is
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing. Exit. Anyway. Yeah, I'm very proud of what I'm building, and I hope you guys can understand why this is so important for people like my brother. You only have 2 access points, and some people only have 1 access point. And if I can build systems and show what can be done using AI the way I just built this game, I'm hoping more people will utilize this philosophy and AI in this way instead of just build. I mean, obviously AI slop is always going to be a thing, but don't forget base stealing. Oh, you didn't see it, Dad. I did steal a base. There are base stealing. You must have just got here. You missed it. You missed my base stealing. Yeah, I showed that. It actually does have base stealing. It has base stealing. It has I'm going to have intentionally hit the batter so that way you can whale them. No. I am going to do hit by a pitch as an option. That'll be like a low likelihood. Every now and then it'll do like a hit by a pitch just to give someone a walk as like a, it's like a bonus. And then when you get hit by a pitch, you actually have a bonus for, you'll have a bonus for stealing. Just slopping it. You're right, dude. No, you're not wrong, Sega. So AI slop is one of those things that it's a concept that AI just puts shit together based on like stuff that's available out there, and it's just going to throw stuff together, right? You can essentially talk the AI, like I talk the AI specifically into that design, right? So Sega, you're not wrong. I know you're making a joke, but like I'm going to be real. Like I talked AI into that specific design. I knew what I wanted to build, and I walked it through that, all just with talking to it, all right? If I just said to it, right, hey, AI, I want you to build me a baseball game with just, spacebar and enter, it will make me something, but I would have to walk through it so many times. So my process is, before we go upstairs, let me grab my camera to get ready too. Hold on. So my process is, and I've talked about this before, and this is something I'm going to be putting out in a guide form and probably in a video, is the process from start to finish on how I make a game. All right. And it always starts with the foundation. The foundation is what are the input methods, right? And what's the goal, right? And you talk through the game, you talk through the animations, you talk through what you want to see, what the power-ups are, all that stuff. And you slowly break it down into a base with the inputs. Then you move it up into the game logic, and then you move it into the animations, and then you fine tune from there, right? That's kind of how I walk it up. And you got to do it in that way, or else everything gets kind of messed up. So, could I be a volunteer in the future? Yeah, Bacon. I don't know if you were here. I just talked about volunteers like a ton. I don't know if you just heard me say it. Sorry, I don't know if you walked away, but I literally just talked about volunteers for like 15 minutes. I don't know if you're here for it. Yeah, volunteering is like anyone can volunteer in the community, right? Yeah, anyone can join the community and build stuff for the community, right? If you want to volunteer for our specific initiatives, when we start deciding and developing these initiatives as a board for the foundation, we will be seeking volunteers, and we will probably be putting out some feelers for people who want to volunteer based on like certain things we need to accomplish, right? We're not there yet. Our goal right now as a foundation, we have our base layer done. We have our initiative starting to bubble. Once we hit a certain level of funding, we're going to start exploring certain aspects. So before I do anything, let me just show you something else that I'm working on, and then we're going to go upstairs and see Ben. One sec. So a lot of people have an issue with Sega. By the way, yeah. So I use I have the agent I use. So I'm using Visual Studio Code with agents on Claude Sonnet 4. I don't have it up right now, but here. So this is Visual Studio, right? You're familiar with this, with Claude Sonnet 4 with an agent that basically helps me write. And then what I do is I have this thing down here. This is my agent's README file. It's my MD. It's my Markdown file. So I basically have it I have it written in here exactly what the game is supposed to be. All games, right? It talks about auto scanning, volume, text to speech, visuals. It talks about everything. So that way the agent will know what to pull from and how to create the games. So it's basically a cheat sheet for the agent to know what I'm trying to do. So it has a checklist. It has all this stuff. It has alignments for my mission. It has tasks to template, so that way it can test things out. So anytime I change something in a game, it knows to test it. It knows to go in and say, okay, I understand that Ari wants to make this game so, I can see the player stealing the base. Let me play the game to make sure that the base stealing is making sense, right? And then it does that. It's pretty sweet. It's awesome. Anyway, I'm very excited about this, as you guys can tell. I mean, I'm all about building stuff right now, and I don't know a lick of code, and I know that probably makes some people upset, but I want you to know I'm building this with accessibility in mind only. Like, I'm not trying to make money off this in any way. Like, people want a tip for using the games, that's great. This, to me, is so groundbreaking that we should be proliferating this stuff, and I want this to be something that someone comes to our channel, our stream, our social media, and it sparks something in them to start building, right? If they can build stuff that's powerful, that can help someone like my brother inexpensively and in a powerful way, man, that's huge. All right, so I'm going to show you guys this thing. I got this little adapter from Adafruit. Let me show you this real quick. So, can I open this? We're going to go upstairs in just a minute, guys. But so this thing right here is a little USB adapter. Now, why am I showing you this? So, Ben has a USB adapter. Okay, this little guy right here. Oh, sorry, I don't have autofocus on. I probably should turn autofocus on. Will it work? I don't know. I'll mess with it later. But this little guy right here, you guys can't see it. I don't have autofocus on, like I said. This little guy is a USB adapter that has a TRRS input. Okay, this is how his buttons work. Essentially, I put an adapter in here or splitter in here, and I attach his two buttons, and this is what tells the computer to send a space bar or a return input. The one Ben has right now, and the two buttons Ben has right now, it's $100 just for this thing. For his, it's just $100. It costs $100. His buttons are another like $80. Okay, so we're talking almost $200 for a kit of two buttons with a USB adapter. That is insane. Not a lot of people can afford that. So I am going to be working on this was $12. This thing right here was $12. I'm going to be working on developing this with some 3D printed cases, so that way we can make these and have them ready to go for under $20. Under $20. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to change the game so we can have these things ready and available for 20 bucks or less, okay? And if we get enough funding, I want to get like maybe a few dozen of these every quarter and give them out to people who need them, and with the buttons. That's the goal, okay? So I'm trying to do things in a big way here, all right? So the foundation is going to be really kind of, it's going to be the guiding light for getting people these tools. And I know it's not a huge population of people, but it's enough people. If my brother existed and was in a place where he didn't have shit, there's got to be people out there who could utilize this type of stuff. And that's what we're trying to build this stuff for that people can use. Do you own a 3D printer? Not yet. Not yet, but we're thinking about getting one. So that way we can build at least the the cases. One sec. We also have someone in our community, which I regret to say, or I feel bad, was going to help us, or is helping us with developing some new ways to mount, or new ways to get a headband for Ben for easier pressing of his buttons. He does fine right now with his buttons, but I'm trying to think of better ways for him to more accurately hit those buttons. All right. So we have someone in our community who's actually helping us with that. He sent me some buttons, so thank you very much for that. I think it's FPO. I did try a few things. I haven't had much success, but I will be working on that in the next few weeks. It's hard for me to actually work on that stuff because right now it's not a priority because Ben can click his buttons. The priority for me right now is building these games and then doing our outreach stuff because I feel like that's the most important. So if you're listening, anyway. All right, let me set up this thing. But Sega, man, if you if you get bored or you want to do some stuff with us, we're always here, dog. We're always here. I know it's hard to ask people to volunteer for this stuff because it is a time sink. Honestly, like I spend all day in Visual Studio while I'm taking care of Ben. I remote into my computer from upstairs on one of our laptops. We hang out with Ben. Ben, he requires things like suctioning all day and therapies and feedings and all this stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff we're doing, doctor's appointments and stuff. But I'm like in between doing that stuff, I just sit on Visual Studio Code and I'm just making things. So like since it's my full-time job to take care of Ben and I can work on this stuff, that's how I sink my time. So I understand it's not easy for people to do that. So if you do get time and you are willing to help or, do some sort of whatever with this stuff, it's always appreciative, but I never expect it. If anyone has like free time, it's amazing. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. All right, let's go upstairs and say hi to Ben. I've been talking down here. I've been yapping for long enough. Let's see if this works. Oh, I think the computer upstairs restarted. Dang it. I have been offering to help because I'm trying to give myself something to be busy with. Bacon, I mean, honestly, man, like, I mean, it's going to be on you to figure out what you want to, if you're part of the community, if you can think of things you want to develop and you want to learn how to do like some of this coding, go for it. Like I can't direct you because that isn't what, I can only tell you what we need. And what we need is more games. We need more games. We need more people to help us populate the website with games from the community. So if you want to volunteer your time, mess around with AI, develop some games, show us what you're building, and let's see if we can build some games. You know what I mean? That's really the big thing right now. And then other than that, like, spreading the word, researching stuff, all that stuff is very helpful. So yeah, I mean, I can't direct you because you're not like an employee. So you kind of have to take on some of that initiative, take some of that stuff and own it, So I believe in you. You can do it. All right, let me, I got to remote into my other computer and set this up. Time is a precious commodity, but working on something beneficial seems really exciting to me. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just what it's what I do now. You know what I mean? It's very weird. It's just what I do, you know, in a weird way, you know, to say that. It's just this isn't what I did before, right? I mean, I was a caregiver for Ben and we worked on stuff, but it wasn't something that I envisioned I was going to be making games and like developing and having a community and creating a nonprofit. I had no idea this was what I was going to be doing. But as I started doing more stuff with Ben and we started telling a story, I was like, this is bigger than I realize. I need to start this thing. Nancy's in. Jesus, stop. Hey, Nancy, I don't know if you can hear me. You got to stop. You got to stop doing stuff. Stop clicking, Nancy. You can't hear me. She's in the computer I'm trying to access right now to set up the our RTMP server. Hold on. She's like in, like, all I need to do is start something and she's in there. Friend who works as a software developer, medical advice for like 5+ years, you might be interested. Yeah. I mean, again, I want to make this, I want to have an element of this that some people maybe can benefit from. So I'm hoping that so the board still needs to agree on this, but this is one of my ideas that I'm bringing to the board. One of the ideas I'm bringing to the board is that competition. So I want to do like monthly competitions for themed based games. So essentially, I want people to build games and, hey, Cool Runnings, don't go anywhere. I want to talk to you about something. I'm going to do it live on stream, put you on the spot, but give me a second. We are going to be doing competitions, or I'm going to be pitching this to the board. I'm sure it'll get approved. I don't want to say 100%, but I'm hoping it gets approved to do the gaming competitions, Vibecoded or traditionally developed games, kind of like the games I just built, similar to the game that I just showed you, this game that I just showed everyone. This game that I'm building, the baseball game, this thing
Throwing fastball,
is something
computer
that
strike.
I think other people can
pitch.
build, and they should showcase to our community, and we should do a competition for it. So that way when we do like let's say I do, hey, football game, I want you guys to build me a football game similar to this baseball game with a ton of different aspects. It's really fun to play. You have 30 days to build a game. Best game gets a prize, gets $1,000. Second place gets $500. Third place gets $250. Everyone else, you guys, your games get listed on a site, and you get honorable mention, right? That's the idea, is building out these things so that way everyone can have a chance to show off their games, and no matter what, the foundation will show their games. It'll show the winners, but it'll also show everyone else's games and what they put into it. Because the more options we have for accessibility, the better, right? There might be one of those honorable mention games that someone uses and they love. It might not win a competition, which that's not the point. The point is to build something that someone can use in a big way. And the person who's building it, you have this, competitive side. I think that drives people to actually do stuff. So that's my vision. I would love to do that. I want to do these games, monthly game jams or monthly game competitions that people can build stuff like I'm building and release it to our community. So that way our community has tons and tons and tons of games to play, right? That's the goal. And to do that, obviously we need to raise money so that way we can raise money for prize money. And I'm not saying we're doing this yet. I'm not jumping the gun. I'm not speaking on behalf of the foundation. I'm speaking on behalf of my ideas for the foundation. The foundation is run by a board. Yes, I am the chair, but the board has to decide on the initiatives we do. So that is one of the initiatives, but the idea is for us to raise money so we can fund these types of things. So if you are a Twitch streamer out there and you want to help the NARBE Foundation and some of these initiatives and some of these things we're trying to do, you can always do the Giving Fund on Twitch. You can always do a day of fundraising. Reach out to us and we can do some perks and some things with the streaming people. We're working on this now. And yeah, if we can get more people, more streamers, more gamers to push these ideas, oh my goodness, we can raise some funds and build some cool games and get these tools in the hands of people who need them. And gosh dang, we can have a really, really awesome, just plethora, buffet, if you will, of online games that are easily accessible with 1 or 2 buttons. That is my vision. That's what I want, guys. I don't know if you can feel my my passion coming through. But man, I really, really want to I want this to be big, right? I want people. I always say, no matter how big this is, I think it's gonna be meaningful. But I want this to be big because if this can get into the hands of so many people and it can help so many people, oh my goodness, like I would make me feel so good that we've done something amazing for the world. If what I could do for Ben can be done for a few dozen, a few hundred, a few thousand people, whoo. That would be like a life worth lived tenfold. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's see if we can go upstairs and say hi to Ben. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm like, you guys know, I'm just so passionate about this stuff. I get ambitious. I'm a very ambitious person. People who know me, they know I can be next level ambitious, and it always happens, no matter what. I always get hyper ambitious about something, and this one is one of those things that it clicked with me in such a real way that I just feel like I've never had something click, for just like a sense of purpose and things that I should be doing with my life. This has been the best thing, and yeah, I'm hoping we can just keep growing. All right. Let's go upstairs. Let's go say hi to Ben. So let me go live here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. All right. Let's go upstairs. Let's say hi to Ben. Hopefully this works. Thanks guys for hanging out and checking out that first part of the stream. The streams are always going to have the little discussion at my computer. That's kind of how I'm doing this stuff. So for those of you guys who just here for Ben, totally understandable. Ben is going to be on camera in just a minute. But I always try to start the stream with a bit of an update, a little bit of motivational speaking, a little bit of me kind of shooting my stuff. And I appreciate you guys tolerating it. Yeah. So here's Ben. We're all wearing our new shirts. Check it out. Hi, Ben. Ben just got atropine, so he's going to be dried out. Say hello to Ben, everyone. So I just showed everyone your baseball game. Did you see the baseball game? Ben hasn't seen it like as I showed it to you guys. Ben has not really seen it the way I showed it to you guys. He's kind of in the dark. He's only seen a little bit, some elements of it. Heads up, this is behind you. He's only seen some clips of it, and I've showed it to him on the computer briefly the other day. But I'm probably going to show him more of it today, a little bit later once I get it going. But it's looking really good. I'm really happy with it. This is all for Ben. I want Ben to just have like a blast playing it. So do you remember what we talked about a couple days ago, or last week when we were talking about your baseball game? Remember how we were talking about like making it more competitive? So that way, yeah, okay. So one of the things I was talking about is like, what if this game could be more like an actual season of playing, and it would be like you would play it over the course of a week or two, and you'd play the seasons and try to win a season. And we were talking about like doing player stats and stuff, but I haven't gotten that far yet. That was definitely a cool idea. I'm not in there yet, but the idea would be it would mirror the stats from the MLB API. If you're not familiar with that, it basically takes all of the MLB teams. It maps them to our teams, which aren't MLB branded because those are trademarked. But then it would have the teams and their stats on there, so that way you're basically playing as the team as a different, whatever the team name is. So yeah. Anyway, that's the idea. People are saying, good morning, Ben. How you doing, Ben? You're such a light to others. Yeah. Ben's in for a treat. You're going to like this game. You're going to love it. So Ben right now is playing his concentration game. If you guys haven't seen this game, this is a game that I can't put online because, again, it has copywritten characters. So it has all of his favorite characters from a bunch of different shows. Krusty the Clown, Shake from Aqua Teen, Bender, Marge. Has a ton of characters in here. and a ton of different voiceovers. He basically goes through and selects the panels, and he has to match them. So, do you want to keep playing this game, or do you want to talk to people? Do you want to use your keyboard? No, you'd rather play your game. Do you want to show people the rest of this game and then talk to people? Okay, fair enough. All right, he wants to finish his game. Ben is very he gets pissed at me if I like am talking to him and I unplug his device like while I'm trying to get his attention. If he's in the middle of the game, he's like, "What the fuck, bro? I was playing that. I didn't want to talk to you." So Ben likes his games. Ben's into what he's into. Like we've said before 1,000 times in our social media posts, this is the first time Ben has really played games like, oh, nice. You just got a match. So he loves playing this game. He has a mini golf game that I'm going to improve. The baseball game's coming very soon. Yeah, he's just into his games. And then he'll talk to us when he's done. He only has a few more matches. Nice, Ben. Keep having fun. Everyone wants you to have fun. Yeah. I told him he has to work, though. Since he can click 2 buttons, he has to get a job. Right? You have to get a job? Yes, you do. Don't say no. You know you have to get a job. I told him he's going to get a job. He basically can click all the buttons and type. That means he can do a lot of different things. So he's going to be paying rent very soon. Right? Yes, you are. So left means no if you guys are new here. For Ben, left means no, right means yes. He has a keyboard that he types on, but he can only do one thing at a time when he's in his interface or when he's in his hub. Right now, he's in the middle of gaming, so we're going to let him finish this game, and then he'll jump on the keyboard and answer some of your questions and hang out with you guys. Also, Nancy's here. We didn't even say hi to Nancy. She's here. You want a mic?
Yeah, in a minute. I'll saying stuff.
Okay. So we got these cool new shirts. So we got this one. It says "Anything is possible." We made this with Ben. The idea was like get a guy in a wheelchair with a cape, looking like he's flying, and then the little tagline is "Anything is possible." I don't know if you guys ever heard the "Anything is possible" thing, but anything is possible, anything is possible, same thing.
Oh my gosh, Sweet Lou!
What did Sweet Lou say?
Caps and. Oh no!
Dr. Swabber.
So yeah, if you guys, we never try selling these things. This is more for us, but
We're selling them.
we do. No, I'm saying we don't usually promote them like this. But if you guys wanted to get a shirt, they are available on our merch store. It's mostly for us though. Like we just, I think me and Nancy just like wearing like shirts that we design. We have a fitness community called Ape. We designed a bunch of shirts for Ape, and we gave out a bunch of shirts, but we just like designing shirts and wearing them, and we like these and the Ape ones. And we have another one that has our family stuff on it. I'll show you guys. This one's really cool. Has the same tagline on it.
Groundskeeper
Some of you guys see that. But it's the family. It has Ben opening up his shirt to show the letter B. And it says, "Anything is possible. NARBE House, established 2025. Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is actually a really comfortable sweatshirt too. So, yeah, we've just been having fun being creative and, making games and making videos with Ben and playing a bunch of these games with Ben, and we're having a blast. So we appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us. We're getting all of our old friends back. Cool Runnings is here. Sweet Lou is here. Stars and Bars is here. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Hey, you guys will be happy to know, my friends from Twitch who are from the fitness community, I am on my 3rd week of consistency with working out. Today I had a really good shoulder and tricep day. So it was awesome. So you guys should be proud of me. Nancy, I don't know if we should make this announcement now, but Nancy is thinking about doing a competition again. So maybe. She said maybe. I don't know if you guys could hear her, but we'll see. We're always doing so many things.
Oh, he has a big booger.
He does?
Gotta get that out of there.
Where is it? Oh, yeah. Let me see.
No, I'll get it.
I got it.
Okay, you're on Instagram now, too. We're streaming on Instagram.
I've always been here in the shadows. Well, sweet Lou, thank you for being here. Yeah, you guys didn't know, on our YouTube side, Nancy and I did especially, I had a very long 4-year career in streaming fitness on Twitch. And it just kind of, I got an injury and it wasn't the same. And yeah, Twitch just, for fitness just wasn't it. You know, I was like trying to figure out some other stuff. So after I got injured, I spent a lot of time just on Ben's software. And it really, something clicked. And this is just what I'm putting a lot of my time and effort into is, you know, our family stuff, the NARBE House stuff, focusing on Ben, like really focusing on Ben, not just with caregiving, but, you know, with the foundation and with him kind of contributing and being more involved with what we're building. It's just been a whole different level. So still doing fitness, but it's not my focus anymore. How many days a week? How many days a week am I lifting? Is that what you're asking? 4 days a week I'm lifting. Nancy and I, we've been doing it, 4 days, just like a bro split. We do the same split I was doing, the Beatwolf split, dude. The same Beatwolf split I've been doing for years. We've both been doing. So just like Monday's chest and buys, and legs is Tuesday, Wednesday's off. Thursday is shoulders and triceps with a little bit of chest, and then Friday is back day. Back and a little bit of hamstrings. But you guys will be happy to know that my sciatica is improved significantly ever since taking the hyperextensions very seriously. So I've been taking hyperextensions very seriously, and my lower back has been feeling a lot better. I still can't do a lot, I still can't load hinges. So for those of you guys who are here for NARBE House and don't care about the fitness stuff, this is just for my friends on Twitch. We're
streaming on 3 different things.
Yeah,
right
we're
now,
streaming on.
We're on Twitch, we're on Instagram, and we are on YouTube. We are able to read the comments from YouTube and Twitch right now.
Yeah.
Sorry for the Instagram people. But everyone wants to see Ben, so Ben's here.
Yeah. If you could answer, it's fine if you don't, but I'm genuinely curious what Tub 4A like. What is Tub 4A like? Hey, Dylan, what's up? Yeah, so just so you guys know, if you don't know what Dylan's talking about, so Ben has a condition called TUBB4A. We call it Tub 4A, related leukodystrophy. Ben has a very classic form of it called HABC. That stands for hypomyelination of the basal ganglia and cerebellum. So what does this mean? So the TUB4A is a gene that has a faulty mechanism making proteins, and those proteins contribute or make the myelin sheath that covers the nerves in the brain and spinal cord. So what does that look like? So in the brain, there are these little neurons, and the neurons, the nerve endings, are covered with this white matter called myelin. What that is, it's insulation that allows for signals to go from one place to another. So in Ben's brain, those proteins that build the myelin are faulty, and the myelin doesn't get created properly. So a lot of those nerves get stripped of the myelin, or the myelin's broken up, and those signals don't send properly. They just don't send correctly. So when Ben was born, he had a certain number of decent myelin, right? So that way he could learn how to walk and talk, even though it was slower and he was falling and he had some other issues. He was able to do a lot of those things, and his brain developed relatively normally, though slow because of the, sorry. Is it okay that I talk about the Tub4A stuff? We usually do. Is it okay that I talk about it? Yes, okay. So let me get you out of there.
Medium.
I'll help you out.
Exit.
There you go. So essentially what happens is as he gets older, as he grows, the brain develops, the myelin isn't getting replenished in those areas, we'll say. And what happens is his body just not deteriorates, but he doesn't get control of his body. He's spastic. A lot of the misfirings happen. That's why Ben gets tight when he gets excited. That's why things like his mouth stays open and he can't control his mouth. A lot of those things are affected, right? His spinal cord, his brain, everything. So To keep him from being too spastic and tight, he has something called a baclofen pump, which essentially is a little pump that goes into his abdomen. It's intrathecal, meaning it has a little tube that goes from his abdomen into his spine. And what that does is it feeds baclofen, which is medicine. It's a muscle relaxant. It's a, I don't know, it's mostly just a relaxer. It basically tells the nerves to stop firing so much. So it has two things. One, it does give Ben some relief and it doesn't make him as spastic. But the other thing is it does take away some of his movement. So we actually just decreased his baclofen a little bit. So that way he can get a little bit more movement and hopefully it helps his swallowing, because Ben is starting to lose the ability to swallow, or he's kind of lost the ability to swallow. So Ben doesn't really get as many pleasure bites, you know, ice cream bites because of it. It kind of sucks, but you know, he's a trooper. So yeah. Do you want to say hi to everyone? You guys can ask Ben a question too. So say hi to everyone, then I'll ask you a question related to what we're talking about, okay?
A, B, C, D, E, F.
So Ben, so Ben grew up slowly losing all of his abilities, right? So that's just, that's all he's known, right? So a lot of people ask what that's like. It must be terrible, but Ben has such a great attitude. I'm gonna talk about this. I'm sorry, I don't want to embarrass you. Ben has such a great attitude. He's very joyous, you know, he takes life and just takes it day by day. I think Ben understands deeply, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but this is what I feel. That he understands deeply that life is life and everyone just kind of goes through it in their own way. And he knows how to just experience joy and choose joy and happiness for the most part, you know. Yeah, and we're very, very thankful about that. And yeah. Ben is typing to you guys right now. You guys want to see how Ben types? So Ben has two buttons on his head if you guys are new here. This is the system that I built for him. He chose the color green. He recently went through a red phase. Now he's doing a green phase of his keyboard, but I gave him the option to choose a bunch of different colors. This keyboard is available on the hub for people who might need it. So yeah, he types by selecting rows and buttons. With the left button will allow him to kind of scan, and the right button allows him to select. So you'll see right now he is scanning to different stuff. It's not in there. Yeah, I know you don't have your glasses on. Go to V. You need a V. So hold down the red button. So Ben doesn't have his glasses on, so it's hard for him to see predictive text. So I'm going to help him out with spelling a little bit. You need a V. So yeah, Ben can't use things like eye gaze or eye tracking because his eyes, he has a condition called nystagmus, and it basically is like Ben always, we've talked to Ben about this, he always has like a level of vertigo and like dizziness. That's why he doesn't wear his glasses either. Next line. No, not that one. You were on it before. Sorry, I'm talking. There we go.
STUVWX.
I'm talking over Ben and he's getting pissed because he can't hear what he's clicking. So sorry, Ben.
It's hard for him to concentrate.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Ben finish.
U. B. YZ0123. Even, every, ever, everyone, evil.
You always do that.
Even, every, ever, everyone.
Remember, not blue button.
Evil.
Not blue button. Why did you click it again?
Even, every, ever, everyone.
There you go.
Even, every, ever, everyone. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Controls.
Very good. All right. So as you guys can see, Ben's computer, how it works is he can scan through, select phrases from the predictive text. He can start spelling stuff, and then he can listen to the predictive text line when he holds down one of his buttons to know what word he wants, or to select the word he wants. He might have to spell a couple more letters that he's used to if he doesn't have his glasses on. Yeah. He doesn't like wearing his glasses, but all right. Let's you want to clear it? Let's answer a question. So this is a big question. Someone asked you about type 4A leukodystrophy. What do you think people should know about the condition? Is there anything specific that you can think of that you think people should know? You want to say something?
Space.
You can tell me with the line.
Controls. Yes.
Hi, Donna.
Hell.
Woodland, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for being here and hanging out. Love your shirt. You like this?
Yes.
Donna, I don't know if you bought one of the shirts too. We've had a couple people buy some shirts, but we're putting out a handful of these just for fun. But they're on our merch store. You could say that. It's fine. It's up to you.
Everyone tuning in from Instagram, you can join the conversation on our Twitch channel or our YouTube channel.
So Ben said no. There's nothing specific that he wants to tell people about his condition. What I said earlier, do you think what I said was correct about your joy and how you choose to be happy and stuff like that? Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Yes. No. Hell. Food. I. You. Yes. No. Yes.
I think Nancy switches between TikTok and Instagram.
What were they asking?
Sega ass. Here, right there. Good, you can answer that.
Yeah.
All right, Ben's going to answer the question if what I said was accurate.
Yes.
Okay.
Controls.
Let's see. Why don't we do this? Do you want to...
Space.
Delete
letter.
What could Ben tell someone? Oh, what are you the most excited for? Not your baseball game. What is the next game you're most excited for in your
Delete
software? Because I'm remaking some of your software or some of your games. So we know you're excited for baseball. We already talked about that. What is the next game you're excited for?
Yes. No. Hell. 4 5 6 7 8 9. YZ01 STUVWX MNOPQR GHIJKL ABCDEF A B.
Hi, Amanda.
GHIJKL.
Welcome in.
MNOPQR M R U B O STUVWX.
Not in there yet.
S
It's on that row, though. I know what you're saying.
X.
One more.
W.
There you go. Yep. Okay, now it's in there.
1 2 3.
So again, Ben doesn't have his glasses on, so I don't want him to go to predictive text and...
Bowman. Bowl. Bowling. Bows. Bowler. Bowls.
So Ben, we kind of know what Ben is. Why do you do that? Remember, it's double click. It's double click with the red one. It's double click with the red one.
Bowman. Bowl. Bowling. Bows. Bowler. Bowman.
There you go. Good job.
Bowl. Bowling.
I made a game for Ben. Do I need to optimize it so he can use it? Yeah, so if you make a game, if you're trying to make a game for Ben, the idea is to try to use his control, keep his controls in mind, make it so that way he can access with all the controls. So what I would recommend is looking at the guide and then playing some of Ben's games. So if you play some of Ben's games, you'll see what I mean, how they need to work.
L G.
We might need to put on the mode on Twitch where you need to be verified.
Okay, we
With a
could
phone
change
number
that.
or something.
Yeah, that's fine. We could do that.
GHIJKL ABCDE.
Oh, you're gonna spell out the 2 words, huh? Okay, do it. Ben is getting ambitious. He's not lazy today. He's given us the full gamut of what he's saying. Ben has been getting. I don't know if he gets embarrassed by this, and I hope he doesn't. But Ben has been prompting us more and more, and I'm trying to explain to him why it's so powerful for him to do that. I know a lot of people don't realize why it's so powerful. Ben has not prompted us like this since he was a little kid. So he has been asking for things when he's playing his games, watching movies and stuff. Like the other day, and it's been doing this a couple days in a row. Sorry, I'm talking over you. I apologize. I'll let you finish this, and then I'll finish what I was saying. I apologize.
Gang. Games. Galaxy. Game. Game. Bowling game.
Let's say it 3 times, so it saves.
Bowling game.
Look how excited he's getting. See this? This is what I'm talking about. He gets this excited.
Bowling game.
There you go. It's saved. So when he says something 3 times, it saves into his predictive text faster. So that way, 3 times will let the computer know he meant to say it, and that's what he wants to save. So it'll save it, and it'll store it into his predictive text. So, so Ben has less baclofen in him. So the fact he has less baclofen means he gets a little tighter. But we're risking that right now to see if it'll help him with his swallowing. In fact, do you think your swallowing is a little better today or no? You think so? You don't know. You don't know.
Well, I gave him atropine this morning, so I'm not sure.
Clear.
Yeah.
Ari smell. Yeah, no. There's a ton of stuff in there that says Ari sucks. Like if you go into his keyboard on the Benny Hub, Sweet Lou. I don't know if you've explored the hub. If you go to narbehouse.github.io, click on Benny's hub, and then go to the keyboard. Just type in Ari space. Look at what it shows up. It literally says Ari sucks. That was by default that I put out there, and I'm like, screw it. It's up there. It's over. I don't need to delete that from the predictive text. It's fine. People need to know how Ben really feels. So, what was I saying before? Bowling. Oh, prompting us. So Ben has been prompting us a lot more lately. So just the other day, he usually says, I want my glasses off. He says, take my glasses off if his glasses are on. He hates wearing his glasses. We never force him to wear it. In the morning, he wears them just that way he can use his messenger app a little easier. But typically, his glasses aren't on. But he's been asking us to take his shirt off, which usually it's something I would ask him if he needs done like later in the day. So he'll have a shirt on. It'll be like 4 or 5 p.m. Maybe it's like he's warm. Ben runs hot. I'm like, you want your shirt off? He says yes or no. He has been asking for his shirt to come off earlier now, and he tells us. So I know that this seems like not a big deal, but I want people to understand that Ben has not done this in over 10 years. I'm going to guess like 15 years he hasn't had the ability to ask for things like that on his own. So Ben has been getting more and more comfortable asking for things and prompting us, like telling us, I want to go for a walk, or I want to go, or let's go to the gym. Because we give him the option on every other day or every few days. We say, do you want to go to the gym, or do you want to do something? And he says yes or no. And then I ask him on that day, I say, what do you want to do today? And then he'll say, let's go to the gym. Like, I didn't even remember I give him the option like a few days earlier, but like, or to the mall or to the park, and he'll say it. He'll just say it. That has so much power. I know it's so crazy to think about that it's like not a big deal for most people, but to me it's like magic, man. Oh, you're sick of us now? Huh? You're sick of us? Huh? You don't want to talk to us anymore? You don't want to? You don't have to. Do you want to talk to us anymore or no? No? Okay. I mean, we're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk and have a conversation. People might ask you questions.
Do you want to still keep streaming with people?
Would Ben like? Oh, someone asked you this question. Would you like? Here, let's do this. Let's go to your phrase board. Ben is about to go to his game.
Back to main menu.
Let me just go to your phrase board, and then I'll bring you back to that.
Menu. Phrases.
Okay. So this is yes.
Yes.
That's no.
No.
I changed the icons just so you know. All right. So someone asked you, would you like a soccer game?
No.
Would you like a football game, like an American football game?
Yes.
Okay. So I have already started the process of an outline for a football game for Ben. Hey, don't go anywhere yet. Let's talk a little bit. So there's a football game I have in mind, and Baking Gaming, if you want to mess around with it, you're totally welcome to. I'm going to make my own, but the idea is going to be a play-based game that gives Ben the option to throw a pass and to select where he throws a pass. So imagine this. The game starts, you pick your plays. You have one of, let's say, 6 plays you can choose from. You pick one of your plays. Let's say you pick a passing play. It goes hut, hut, hike. He presses a button to hike the ball behind him to the quarterback, right? Yeah, to the quarterback. And then he can choose one of 3 places he could throw the ball. He could throw it to his receiver on the right side, on the left side, or in the middle. It'll randomize how much coverage is on each player, so he has to pick which one to throw to. There will be a percentage of how likely that ball will go to one of those players. That's how I would do it. So that way there is no mechanics of him actually running and tackling and stuff like that. But the mechanic is a choice-based mechanic where he can choose where he throws the ball and how he makes a play. Same thing with like hitting the end zone, like doing a, what do you call it, a bunting or something, right? Or you know, the extra point. The idea would be he charges up a kick and then he kicks and aims. So he can aim left or right, just like his Peggle game, where he presses his blue button to aim where the ball goes, and then it would shoot the ball into the end zone or over into the, what do you call that thing? What do you call that fucking thing? That, you know, the big T thing. Anyway, so that's how it would work. And then for defense, it would be very similar. Be like, who do you want to cover, right? It'll give you choices for who to cover or what type of play to make, and then you'd make a play. It would be kind of like rock, paper, scissors in that way, but it would be a little bit more fun, a little bit more strategic, but the idea would be you could play a full game, all 4 quarters, and get like, you know, first downs and all that stuff. It would be the same rules of football, but it would be choice-based. And it wouldn't be like a lot of, you wouldn't need a lot of reflexes or a lot of like small intricate movements. It's seriously just multiple choice where you want to go. So yeah, that's, if you want to try making something like that, that'd be cool. But that's the idea I have for the game, which I'll probably end up working on this winter. I have a lot of ideas for games. I'm trying to dedicate every month to a new game. So this month is dedicated to the baseball game. Next month will be dedicated to probably his mini golf game and then his tower defense game. Nancy is going to be working on the bowling game to start it. When she gets the bowling game kind of to a place where she feels is, you know, good enough for me to mess around with, then I'll mess around with it. But I'm going to let her start it because she and Ben had decided to do bowling, and I figured bowling would be it'd be a fairly simple game to do because all you're doing is aiming down, and you just need to get the physics for the pins and the ball, right? So we just got to figure that out, and I'm pretty sure AI could do that. So are you excited for bowling? You said bowling, right? Okay, so bowling, and what's the other one? Yes. What would you rather have first, the mini golf game or tower defense? So I'll say one at a time. Mini golf?
Yes.
Not tower defense. Okay, so what about, okay, so the mini golf game we talked about, do you like the idea of the power-ups and the special levels and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay, so his mini golf game is going to go from just a standard mini golf game to a mini golf game with like some power-ups and some tools that he can use to beat the levels. So instead of it just being a straight, you know, shoot the ball into a hole, it'll be shoot a ball into little power-ups that you need to complete a level. So it's almost like a puzzle. So if you shoot the ball over water, you splash and you go back to the beginning. But if you get a power-up to go over the water, you'll get a power-up that you can use one time to go over water. So you have to aim correctly to go over the water with that power-up. So you pick up that power-up by hitting the ball into those power-up areas. So that's the idea. It would be less about like completing it in a certain amount of strokes, more about just like puzzle-based shit.
Back. Needs. Monopoly. Google. Game of life. Conversation.
You should do this one.
Basic. Back. Needs. Monopoly. Google.
Make it fart, dude.
Google.
Make it fart.
Okay, Google. Give me a fart.
Happy to oblige.
Oh, my phone is telling me
That he can't do it.
my phone, Gemini's like, I can't fart, but Google Assistant can fart.
Okay, Google. Give me a fart.
Happy to oblige.
Why are farts so funny?
I don't know. So Ben actually has a bunch of things on his Google options where you can actually make phone calls and stuff. So I have on here that he can call our mom. I don't have a ton on here because he doesn't use it that much, but he can call our mom. He can play music. He can check the weather, check the time, all that stuff.
Okay, Google. Give me a fart.
Happy to oblige.
I love how each fart is a little bit different.
Yeah, I was going to say that. They're not all the same.
Okay, Google. Give me a fart.
Happy to oblige.
Oh, that one sounded the same. That was a long
It
one.
actually
That
had a
sounded like
little bit at the end.
Yeah, that sounded like it was a wet one.
Okay, Google. Give me a fart.
Happy to oblige.
No,
We could literally sit here all day.
Yeah,
and
we could
listen
do
to farts and laugh.
Okay, Google, fart for me.
This is a fart.
Oh, it's like the same one. They're not changing it up. Yes, you can. Shut up.
Okay, Google. Give me a fart.
This is a fart.
All right. What do you want to do now? Are you? Do you want to do something else? You don't have to talk to people if you don't want to.
Do you want to keep talking to people?
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you
Okay.
can do what you want. I'm not gonna keep you. Ben.
He's not. He loves
The attention.
The attention, but he doesn't really want to talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben is like, he likes the idea of being famous, but not the stuff that comes with it.
It's like, it's okay, Ben. We got it for you. Like, we'll read him the comments. We'll help him respond.
Yeah,
we take care. We're his social media managers. He makes all the decisions, but he's just the star of the show.
Yeah.
And we make sure it's easy for him.
Like all of it, like even this like shirt idea, we had like this powwow. We were talking about like different shirt designs. I'm like, oh, what about this? And Ben really liked it, so we thought of this together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it's always this. This is the way we do it usually, is I come up with the concept or the idea at first, and then Ben approves it, and then Ari's like, I can make it so much better. And I'm like, please.
Yeah, I go through and
make it better.
Yeah, Nancy gets this, like for the bowling game, for example, she's going to work on the bowling game, get it, like the Peggle game she started, and then I just took it to another level. So I let her start things and then I finish it. Same thing with video editing. She'll start a video and be like, I have this idea for a video. She'll start editing it and then I'll be like, okay, let me take it afterward. And then I sweeten it up. So like she kind of sparks the initial idea and then I just kind of run with it. But that's how we work. That's just kind of how our stuff works here. And then Ben obviously approves everything. And then if he has an idea or has like something he wants to add, he'll let us know. But usually it's like, just ask him if he likes it or if he thinks it's cool or if we need to add something different, whatever. That's typically.
Ben is always the final decision maker of everything.
Ben approves every video that goes out. He approves all the designs. So everything has Ben in mind. I think a lot of people, They don't realize that because Ben is a man of few words, but we always include Ben on everything we do. It's a partnership more than anything, so.
And he says he's done talking to everybody, so we respect that.
Yeah. Are you sick of us? You want to watch your shows?
Family Guy.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wants to watch
He wants to
Family
watch
Guy,
Family Guy,
so we're gonna
We'll fuck off. Sorry.
wrap it up.
We'll go in the living room for a few minutes.
We'll talk. Ari and I will talk.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions for us, drop them in the chat.
Light on or off? Off. I'll hold your head. Light on or off? Off? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just give it a minute. It's loading. You might have to reset it.
We have about 45 minutes till we have to wrap
Yeah,
up.
we have a meeting that we're doing. We'll talk about that for a minute.
I'm going to give Ben a little bit of water.
Okay.
I'm going to turn this down. Ouch.
Where's my hand? Good enough. Okay. Yeah, so Ben can only tolerate so much of doing stuff.
I can relate.
Would it be good if I made a story-based game? Yeah. Any game you want to make, as long as he can access it with right and left head movements to click.
Is that
What?
in YouTube chat?
Yeah.
Exclamation point guide.
Oh yeah, no, Bacon Gaming. He saw the guide. He knows.
Oh, he saw it. Okay, good.
So, yeah. So the idea is with the games, as long as he can play them. I don't know if he's gonna like it. You know, it's like you kind of have to. I would like, if you're gonna make a game, try to make it visual enough, and then make it engaging enough. I've always thought about doing a story-based game. The story-based game actually take more. They're more involved. So I have a partially finished engine for creating those types of games. So here's how it works. It is a flowchart-based game, right, or a map-based game where you actually build a flowchart out, and each piece of the chart has a game, has a text voiceover, it has a puzzle associated with it, and then directions you can go based on what's in the flowchart. So that flowchart allows you to kind of go through and make the game as you see fit. And you can add a bunch of characters, you can add different voiceovers, you can add puzzles and little mini games and item dependencies, so you can pick up an item. The thing is, you have to create the story to it. So it can be as big or as small as you want, but the whole thing is making a story that's going to be engaging. That takes a lot of time. Building out a story takes a lot of time. I could rely on AI to help me with filling in those types of blanks for the story, but you know, it's one of those things that's like, do I want AI? That becomes a problem. Like AI slop in that degree just feels like an issue. So like if I were to make an outline and then have like a gist of a story and have AI help me kind of populate what my idea is, I think that's okay. But just kind of like, hey, make me a story that Ben would like playing. It's not really what I love. There is a AI version of like Dungeon Crawler. It's essentially a AI driven dungeon game that basically you just talk to AI and it'll just develop a dungeon for you, or like a fantasy game for you. It's pretty cool, but it doesn't work so well with 2-button inputs because you need to have your own unique inputs. So you type to it and it'll kind of develop stuff for you. One thing I was thinking about doing Bacon Gaming was trying to figure out an LLM that will give you like 6 to 10 different choices that you can choose from. And then that would allow you to kind of let the story continue, right? And the LLM would kind of build it on its own, like, parameters, right? What it's based on. So like, just not to get too deep into it, but the idea would be the LLM would know that you're trying to build a game about a space adventure, and you live in a galaxy with 10,000 different planets, and each planet can populate different people and different beings, and they can be treacherous or they can be friendly. And the idea is, okay, now you're a space explorer that has to explore all these places, and the goal is to find treasure or to find coins or to whatever it is, right? And what you do is you'd pick your inputs based on what the LLM suggests, and then it would drive you or bring you to those different worlds or to different, like, you know, adventures based on that type of gameplay. That's something that I have an idea to do. It's just, it's a pretty big kind of outside of my my pay grade type of idea, but I think it's a really cool one, and I would love to develop something like that where someone like Ben could just click a choice and then it would kind of like run him through a scenario. You know, and I think that would be pretty fun. And the scenarios would have a bunch of multiple choices, so you can kind of like dictate how the game plays. And ultimately, it would show like graphics. It would show like the planets. It would show the animals, the people. It would show all the things based on his inputs. So that would be really, really fun and really cool to make for Ben. That's one of my big lofty goals. But right now I'm sticking to the sports games and the small games, and then once I'm done with these, I'm gonna work on something a little bigger. So yeah, we gotta get through, what games do we have to get through? Baseball?
Mini golf,
tower defense, his trivia game.
Yeah, there's trivia games we gotta put up too.
And then what else? Isn't there one more? Bowling? Is there another game that's on there? That the word jumble, but I don't know if I'll put that on there.
No.
Probably those 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking probably a 5-month period before I start working on something like that. So like even the football game, I don't know if I'll do. I was thinking about doing it in the winter, but I think I'll probably, I really would like to work on that AI version, because I was even telling you that we can incorporate AI into the site.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we have so many ideas for what we want to do with all these games and all these tools. We have endless ideas. So
yeah.
But yeah, we got to make sure that, you know, they work for Ben.
Yep.
And he really likes them before we want to put them out. Make sure everything works correctly. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. Like the baseball game, I know he'll like the baseball game. He's already seen it. He likes his baseball game. This is just enhancing his baseball game.
Right.
And putting it in a format that we can put online.
Yeah.
So that's the idea right now, since we have the hub online right now, is taking all of his games and just enhancing them, so that way other people can play them and Ben will get more enjoyment out of them because I'm going to make them better, right? Just adding things to them, making them a little more engaging. And then once we're done with that, then we're going to start thinking about more types of games Ben would like to play. And then moving into probably that AI-driven one that could be a fully accessible AI adventure game. That's something that I don't think we could do for everyone unless we made it like a subscription based, because it actually does cost money to run those models. So if we did something like that and put it online, just so full transparency, I think we'd probably have to charge for it. That couldn't be something that we put out for free, unfortunately. It would cost so much money. And that's not something the foundation would cover. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like way down the line.
Yeah.
Because we don't, I don't see a ton of people, you know, going to the site and
using it.
it. We would need hundreds of users.
Yeah.
And it's, I
don't think it's
we
going to be.
want to help hundreds and thousands of people, but I don't know if we're going to reach that many.
No.
There's so many options, so it's okay. Yeah.
I think for us, it's like that's why it's like Ben is center, right? About what I'm doing. I'm building everything with Ben in the center. And then with the idea of being able to release it online for other people to use it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole mission of the foundation, is getting people to build stuff for their loved one and then releasing it online so that way other people can use it too if they can. You know, not everyone's going to use it. I think a lot of people, I know, and it's frustrating to me in a way, but I understand where people are coming from because of our society and how it works. But so many people are like, hey, patent your software. Hey, put a patent on your games. Hey, get a subscription on it. Make some money. That is not what we are trying to do. We have an element to our foundation specifically is to proliferate these ideas and these games, and they're simple. They're made by AI. Like, we want them to be examples and we want people to use them. That's it. Our NARBE House initiative, when it comes to the more complex stuff, possibly could have that element, right? Where maybe there's a subscription, or maybe it's like a pay what you want. Like for example, our website right now has Ben's Hub. It's free, but if someone wanted to tip us to use it, like that's amazing because it helps us. But it's not the point. Like our whole philosophy right now is like, give this to people and let them use it. If there are people out there who have the means and want to help support what we're doing, they'll come forward and support us in that way.
And we've had like a handful of people already leave a tip for us, which has been
amazing.
It makes us feel good.
We've had probably over, I'm gonna guess probably around 50 people so far. We've had around 20 or 25 people that we know of that went through our link to get to the software. But after looking at our analytics, it looks like there's probably 50 or so people who are using the software. So 50 or so people using Ben's Hub.
That's really cool.
That I just put out.
Yeah, like not that long ago, like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So
if people are using it and they get value out of it, that's all that matters to me, is making sure people can use it and get value out of it, and giving us some feedback so I can improve it for them over time.
Yeah.
It's not my mission to improve that piece of software specifically for everyone. The idea is to make something for Ben that works and just improve Ben's games and his hub so that way he can use it. And then the after fact is putting it online so that way other people can use it too. It may not be perfect. I always call it a beta. It's a beta. It's an alpha release. It's an example. It's a prototype, right? So the idea is other people can use it as much as they want. So I just put more analytics up there to find out how many people are using it, but it looks like it's around 50. We've had hundreds of visits to our site so far. I'm guessing just since we put it up last week. We put up the analytics last week, and I'm guessing, I don't have it in front of me, but because my phone's over there, but I'm guessing it's probably close to 1,000 unique visits to the site.
Because we've had, why we kind of went this route was that there were so many people on social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. A lot of our videos are, going viral, which, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then not a lot, but there's a handful of comments. They're like, how can I get Ben's software? I know somebody that can use something like this. And we're not medical professionals in the way of telling people how to use an AAC, but we know what works for Ben. And we wanted to give something to people to try as an option. We don't push it as a first option, but if that's the only way that it sparked an idea, they're like, well, we haven't even tried to look into AACs. And then I see this video on social media, and they're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's awesome that we're reaching so many people like that.
Yeah. There's like a few different layers to this. One is you have people joining us and they say, if Ben can do it, not realizing that Ben had already gone through school and understands stuff.
There's a lot to it.
There's a lot to it. Ben knew how to spell. He knows how to spell. He knows how to use predictive text. He's a smart dude who knows technology, right? He used controllers before to play video games. He did control his the remote to pick Netflix shows and stuff.
Yeah, he needed a refresher on some spelling.
Yeah, on
he
spelling
already
and stuff.
had that knowledge.
But once he learned how to play games and stuff and learn how to navigate his tools, he's like, I can do this with just 2 buttons. That's easy. I just had to give him the ability and show him how to do it. But once he learned, he was he knew it. So the idea isn't that this isn't a miracle for every case, right? You need to know who you're building for, and that's first and foremost. I knew I was building for Ben, and this is a very unique case, and I'm pretty sure that it probably covers a lot of people, but it's not going to cover everyone, right? So the idea was, I put it online on GitHub as a Python project. It has some HTML and Java, but it's mostly Python. And the idea is people would take it and use it, and they'd use AI to explore it and figure out how to use it for themselves. However, I understand that most people are not technical. So because most people are not very technical, they would reach out and say, how do I do this? And me explaining how to do it and saying, hey, go talk to ChatGPT and figure it out. That's not cool. Google it. Just go Google it. I don't want to do that. So we have guides on the website to teach people, kind of walk them through how to build stuff, right? They're very simple, very starter guides for people. That's always a mission of ours, is giving them an option to start somewhere. But the other thing was, since people were asking so much about Ben's software and how to use it and how to utilize it, I said to myself, especially after one of our videos went viral, I told Nancy, I said, I am going to spend a week to figure out how to get most of Ben's software online. So I literally spent a week just working on getting Ben's keyboard, his phrase board, and the media board online, along with a handful of his games, and transferring them or converting them to HTML. So now that all those live on the website, and I put a YouTube search on there too, because we thought someone actually reached out and said, I really like, this would be great if it had some sort of YouTube browser or some sort of real browser. So I made one. So if you guys go to narbehouse.github.io and go to Ben's Hub, you'll see there's a YouTube search function on there now.
Yeah, that's new as of like yesterday.
Yeah, 2 days ago. So I put that up specifically because someone asked for it, and Ben has something like it, and I was like, I could probably build one. He has an image search and a video search, so I just put the video search function on there because YouTube's easy to build. The image one, it uses something a little more complex, so I didn't want to do that. But the YouTube one works. So the idea is like giving people the ability to do that. So now there's a hub online that people can utilize with just 2 buttons and just 1 button. In fact, that you remind me, I have to change the YouTube to have auto scanning feature. So I need to turn on auto scanning on and off.
Okay.
So I need to put a settings button on there.
I'll try to remember.
Okay. So, so the YouTube, the keyboard, the phrase board, the games, they all can be used with just 2 buttons, the way I built it. And I want people to try it. It's not for everyone, but I'm hoping it helps some people and sparks some interest so that way they can build for themselves. And it's on GitHub, so you can download the entire app and use it for yourself or modify it. You can literally take it and say, hey, Gemini, hey, ChatGPT, hey, Claude, I have this app, it works really well, but maybe it needs different inputs. Can you change this app so that way it has new inputs? It will help you figure out how to change the inputs for that app. So that way you can use it in your unique situation. Communicating the expectation of communication. Yeah.
Let's see. And then welcome in everybody that are joining us from YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Brain, yeah, for us, it was like Ben isn't super interested in communicating with us. So when we first got him phrase boards when he lived here, he used it periodically to say yes and no and to say things that he might need, like, I want to go back in bed and I want to get in the chair. Or like I would ask him, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like something? He would tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 because he had that option on there. But that was it. It was lame. And I was like, man, he wants more than this. Like asking him, like, what does he want to watch all the time? Like he would have a thing that says, I want to watch The Simpsons, or I want to watch Family Guy, or I want to change the TV. And then we'd have to play 20 questions to figure out what he wanted to watch. And a lot of times he didn't even know what he wanted to watch. He just knew he wanted to watch something different. He just wanted to fucking browse the shows. He wanted to browse movies. And I'm like, man, it sucks that he does not have that ability independently to do it without me and Nancy trying to figure it out and spending our time just clicking through with the remote, trying to figure out what Ben wants to do and watch. I'm like, what if I could build him something that has a whole library of shows that he can independently choose from? And he has that now. Over 300 shows and movies to choose from. And he picks mostly just like a handful. He has like maybe 10 or 20 movies that he watches and shows that he watches consistently.
He likes what he likes.
He likes what he likes, which is great. But he can now go and say, hey, I want to have a marathon of Curious George this week. And he just watches Curious George. Or, hey, I want to watch Rugrats all day today. All right, great. Watch Rugrats. Or, I don't even want to watch any shows. I want to listen to Disturbed all day. I want to have Google play my, Disturbed playlist. He can do that. He has the option now. He has never had this before. It goes beyond the communication. It's just a level of independence that everyone should have. That if you have the ability to click a couple buttons, or you have the, or we have the technology to give someone the opportunity to have an input or two, you should be able to give them access to these types of things, because it's what makes life amazing right now for people. Living in today's day and age, most of us are on our phones or on a computer or whatever.
Choosing what you want to watch.
Choosing what we want to watch, what we want to do.
Constantly. Yeah, we take it for granted.
Right, we do. And it's like, how many programs are out there? I'm not talking crap about programs, but how many programs out there do the bare minimum and are not engaging for people, and they're just sitting there and just kind of, it's almost like a glorified, babysitter program. How many programs are out there that do that, and the person has nothing and they don't have anything to independently choose and do on their own, where they might have access to having an input, you know, or a couple inputs like Ben. There were times, and again, I don't want to talk down about the programs Ben used to be in, but Ben was in programs before where they would take him out into the community and he would just be sitting there watching everyone do stuff, and he would just be so bored out of his mind, and just like one of the caregivers or one of the staff would like interact with him periodically because they had to, you know, interact with like 20 other people at that program. It was tough, right? So, you know, when we saw that, and I talked to Ben and I figured out that he didn't want to go there anymore. He didn't really want his caregivers anymore, the ones he had. That's why we built the house we built. That's why me and Nancy stuck around, because I was like, we can do so much more, and we need to show that we can do so much more, and people can do more. And yeah, we get we are paid by his program, but it's not nearly what we were making in our professional careers. And that's not the point. The point is, we can do a bigger thing for someone and show what's possible. And it goes beyond all that superficial shit, right? Like, it goes into just a level of, you know, giving someone the options, right? The independence, the advocating for someone, and just showing that, like, don't give up, you know, like you can't give up, you know, because like, as soon as you give up, what you're doing is you're sending someone down, you know, what a lot of people would consider hell. You know, you're sending someone down this level of just complete, you know, you have no control of your life and what you're doing. And like, just imagine, put yourself in that position. It's awful, you know? Luckily, Ben is very go with the flow, but man, like, there were times and days I could see in his face, like, such a level of despair that not a lot of people would admit was there, but I knew it was there, you know? And you could see it on some of the videos I captured. And now today, he has not had that look a single time, unless he was like really sick. And man, it's like, I want people to see that and understand what's possible, and you can do it too. And you just have to kind of change your perspective on what life is.
Yeah. Now I changed the mode thing on.
What?
I changed the moderator thing on Twitch.
Oh, on Twitch. Okay. Every conversation is 20 questions, and I have to rely on his facial expressions to determine what he wants, what he wants. And that'd be great for him to use a cursor. Yeah, so like Ben doesn't use a cursor, it's just scan and select. It basically highlights his options. So really it's just, you know, clicking one, all you need is one button, right? All someone needs is one button. They need to have a level of understanding of what they're choosing, right? They need to have that cause and effect kind of thought process, right? They need to have the cognitive abilities to be able to understand what they're selecting. So again, I don't want anyone to think that, you know, we brought Ben from like a level of cognitive impairment to, you know, being able to read and write. No, that's not how that works. He has always had the ability, right? He's always had the cognitive ability and the understanding to do what he's doing now. It's just he didn't have the ability because the options and the tools weren't available. So I built the options and the tools and gave him the tools so that way he could do more. And that it just bleeds into all the stuff we've done, right? Like the games and the shows and the communication device and the messages, right? So the idea is, if you can get one button and you know someone can understand, right, what they're doing, you can give them a whole world. You can give them such a level of independence that, you know, a lot of people just don't think is possible. It's possible, trust me, right? Computers and AI are making it more and more possible every day. And a year from now, the stuff I built, I hope it's antiquated, and I hope it's like, hey, why would you do that? Like, there's so many new tech out there that is way better for Ben. And that's what I'm hoping, right? And I'm just going to try to stay on top of all of that stuff, so that way we can keep proliferating, get stuff out there, you know, so people know it exists, but also give people options to access it wherever possible, however possible.
Yeah, so yeah, Ben uses a switch. Yeah, there's ways of people using a camera for facial expressions if they can control closing their eyes really tight,
yep,
opening their mouth to scan and select. That's a possibility.
You can, have a single input where if you open your mouth, it registers.
Scan.
It can do whatever. You
yeah,
have it,
whatever you want it to do. Yeah, with AI.
The camera will see that you're opening your mouth, holding it for a second, and it will register an input. So let's say you have Ben's software, and it's auto scanning through 5 or 6 different choices, right? It scans 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? If it goes slow enough and someone sees that it lands on something they want, all they have to do is open their mouth and it selects that option. So you can go through menus, full menus, even the menus on our hub with just that option if you want to make that a thing, right? You just got to remember they exist. Those things exist.
Yeah, and then there's more to it. Like everybody is unique. Every person is unique. So do they need icons or pictures, or do they rather need? Or
can they read?
Can they read? Do they need text to speech? What colors can they actually see? It's a whole thing. Yeah. Because everyone's different. Right.
You need to figure that stuff out because, like I was saying earlier, like Ben's software is really cool. If someone can utilize it, great. But there's going to be, I tried to make it as accessible as possible, changing the colors and making sure the icons are highly visible. But it's all text-based. There's a lot of words. Even though it does text to speech, it might be better for people to, use icons only, which isn't an option on there right now, right? So there's a lot of things to consider, like Nancy was saying.
Yeah.
So
everyone's different. And then what do they actually want to communicate? Yeah. Some people,
like Ben wasn't
is not a talker.
Yeah.
But he will say just what he needs sometimes, Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you see the NARBE Foundation in 1 year? I'm hoping, for me, I'm hoping we have a handful of initiatives. One in particular, a lot of this stuff is board driven. So Nancy and I are a lot of the idea people because it came from our family, so it's understandable. So
yeah, we kind of inspire it.
We inspire it and we inspire the ideas and what our initiatives are. But our board is always, we're always in contact with our board. We're in Discord with our board. Like that's how we run our meetings and stuff. But the idea is we want to have enough funds to ensure that we can keep operating for the foreseeable future. So it's not a ton of money for operating expenses. I'm gonna guess between $1,500 and $2,000 a year at most, right? So as long as we can maintain that and keep some level of presence with a small community and have our website get consistently updated with new games and new tools and new ideas and guides, that would be a success for me. And we're already kind of exceeding by far that kind of idea and that mission because we already have an online hub of accessibility from NARBE House. We already have a guide up there. We already have the website built. We have already started getting more people in our community to help us with developing stuff. So we're already ahead of the game by far. But if I had to say in a year, if I was being really optimistic, I'm hoping that we have a couple of fundraising missions to help us with a couple of initiatives. One would be a hardware initiative where we are actually building and giving away little pieces of hardware for 2-switch access. So essentially giving away 2 buttons and a USB device to families who need it. And just giving them a guide on how to use it and how to access Ben's software, right? Or whoever's software, however they want to use it. But giving away a $40 or $50 package, being able to give away 10 or 20 of those every quarter to specific families who apply for it. That would be an amazing win for us. The other win would be the competitions. I think it would be amazing if we had gaming competitions for people to build games.
1 to 2 button games.
1 to 2 button games, web-based games that can live on the NARBE Foundation website as a resource and as one of our community resources or one of our community tools. So that way people can access them and play them with just 1 or 2 buttons. So my vision is a level of sustainability, the board coming up with new and cool ideas, obviously, but also doing the gaming competitions and then doing the hardware.
Yeah.
That would be my big, if we were doing that a year from now and we can make that a success, that would be a win.
Yeah,
a huge win.
holding, ideally same. I think having a yearly competition to have people submit web-based
yearly. I was thinking we were doing it every 2 or 3 months we would have a competition running.
Yeah, I'm saying from a year from now, having
at least one.
At least once, depending on what the funding looks like, and we smooth out all the details, but I would ideally, it would be one big competition a year. We would have people submit, web-based games that are, people are able to use it with 1 or 2 buttons. We would have like a first and second place and a third place winner, and then we'd have honorable mentions. And all those people would be, their games would be hosted on the foundation's website. Mm-hmm. And so anybody in our community would be able to go and play these games.
Yeah, and we would
for free.
And one of the things that we would do is we would set up a thing where every game gets like a social media post, so that every game gets a little bit of love, not just the winner, but every person who put effort into a game and doing a little like interview, because we do a lot of media. Nancy and I, and especially me, I do a lot of video production. So I want to highlight a lot of people who are putting their effort into these things. That way they can get some love, because a lot of stuff is social media driven. And I know like the internet is kind of dying, but at the same time, it's like, I think if we can build a community that has the heart in this, I think if we get, like my brother said, if you build it, they will come. I'm like, I think so, like from the Field of Dreams. I feel like if we keep building stuff, even without a huge audience, like a huge audience or a huge player base, I should say, people who are playing it, I think people will come.
People love this idea.
I feel like
we have such a supportive community already.
This goes beyond just accessible games. This is going to be my vision really is like building games that anyone can play to have fun playing. Anybody. I enjoy playing that baseball game. That baseball game I just made, I'm like, this is really cool. I would sit down and just mess around and play a game of baseball. It takes like 30 minutes to play a full game. Why wouldn't I? Like, that's kind of fun, and it tracks my stuff. It's like, that could be a totally fun time sink. If I can make a ton of those little fun games that anyone can play, but most importantly, have accessibility in mind, that is a huge win. If people come and play it and say, hey, there's this game and like anyone can play it, I wonder if, Ben can play this game because there's 2 buttons on it, right? It's like, let's check it out. If Ben likes it, cool. Now that's another option for him, right? That's the whole mission. There's so many games out there that just are not accessible, and we have to build controllers and buttons, and we have to like build around the games that exist. I say, fuck that. Build with the accessibility first. Build with accessibility as number 1. If you can build those and make those games fun, holy shit, you are literally like giving such a level of freedom and independence to people who have not had anything like this before.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have mentioned, and it's always with good intentions, is how do we adapt controls for Ben to play Grand Theft Auto, because he used to love to play Grand Theft Auto, right? And it's just, right now, that's not something that we're like focused on. Maybe in the future or something like that, depending on where technology takes us. But it's just right now it's not feasible because he is limited to 2 button inputs. And GTA there's just so much going on in that it just, yeah.
I mean, I would love to have a GTA style game that was like...
We can probably make one eventually.
Yeah, like a GTA style game with cool graphics that is literally just...
made for somebody like Ben.
It's literally just you kind of point in the direction you want to go. It doesn't have reflex base, but the graphics are cool.
Yeah.
It's you select the options that you want to choose. Maybe there's like new options. Maybe it's like AI driven where like there's an option that says, give me other suggestions. It'll give you 3 more options. You just pick one of those. And then it gives you a cutscene for like the option you chose, and like you could just run. There's so many things that I feel like we could do.
It'd be 18 and plus, for sure, because it's GTA.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, that would be great.
It would be amazing to build games like that. Like that anyone could play. That would be fun. You know,
fun.
I know it's not the same as an open world where you have controls and you're using a joystick and a bunch of buttons to do a bunch of inputs, but I mean, not every game has to be like that. I feel like every game is focused on that.
We're going to make stuff for people that otherwise wouldn't have any options.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the best we can with what they can do.
I'm going to keep building games, and I mean, there's not a lot of games that exist with what I'm building. There's just not a lot. Like, there's hardly any. There's
some, but it's just, it's not.
They're not built like in a hub.
They're not engaging.
They're not built the way I built them in a hub that can exist. Like if I could do anything, if I had all the money in the world and I could build something, it would be build an entire accessibility hub that was completely customizable by the user just by clicking 2 buttons. and that would be cool, you know, and that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, we went off on a tangent there, but you know, yeah, we want to give away hardware to families that can't afford to buy the switches and, you know, the tablets and stuff like that. That would be great to give out kits.
Yeah, we're already in the process. I'm already in the process of I'm in the research phase where I can research and build a bunch of these little kits. Once I have these kits built, or at least the first couple prototypes, I'll be sending them out to a handful of we have a couple families, or like three to five families that are kind of our prototype families who want to use Ben's software. So instead of building tablets with the software on them, what I'm going to be doing is trying to put together these kits with the buttons and with the USB device, giving them a guide on how to install it, and then how to access Ben's online hub through their whatever device they're using, and then get them set up so that way they can try it out at home, you know, without needing a full hub like Ben's is built. Because we were talking about that, like building out and doing a pilot program for Ben's very specific software. But Ben's software, the point of Ben's software isn't to deploy to everybody. The point of Ben's software is to show you what can be done with very little experience these days in programming. You just need to have some determination and willpower to get through it and play and figure out something. That's all I did to figure out Ben's software. And I know a lot of people see it as groundbreaking because of the way we make videos. And I you know, personally know it's groundbreaking because Ben hasn't had this in years, but I think it's possible for more people to do what I did.
If people are determined to get somebody speaking again, or, you know, getting something going, you are determined and you want that for them, and you're going to do anything in your power. Yeah, it's possible, because look where we've come so far with Ben's situation. So, Ben having trouble with his buttons. So Ben has good days and bad days. So when he's fatigued, not feeling well, he has a hard time turning his head from left to right. So sometimes we have to adjust the buttons so they're easily clickable. Yeah.
Like today's having a good day.
He's having a great day.
Yeah, today's a good day, so you can click very easily. I think the baclofen decrease actually is going to improve his clickability. Yeah. So it just depends on the day, but like his buttons, for example, we were thinking about like doing a different way for him to click buttons. He doesn't really like the idea of trying something different. We've tried a couple different things, even with his setup, like smaller buttons, proximity sensors. Yeah, we've tried different tech already. He's really not into it. He likes his 2 buttons. He likes his setup. Like he's used to it. He likes it. Yeah. So the only thing I would think about doing different is a better way to get it on his head, and then maybe slightly better buttons that have like a little bit more bulbous kind of buttons. That way he can click them from any angle. Right now they're easily clickable, but so they're not so troublesome that he can't access his stuff. He uses his hub like all day. Like before, when he had just his communication device and shit, he was using it like maybe an hour every other day. His hub right now, he uses this all day. He likes just being on his computer, right? I think
that's another thing is that I don't know, like everyone's different, but me personally, if I was in Ben's situation and somebody put just a keyboard in front of me and that was the only option, I wouldn't want to look at this keyboard all day. Right. I need more options. I want to watch TV. I want to choose my own shows. And that's why Ben has been so successful using his software, is because he has all these options. Mm-hmm. And I can see why some people have wondered, like, I've heard this from people, is that they have a loved one that they have tried communication stuff with, but they don't want to use it. It's because it's just not fun for them, probably. Yeah. You know, they've used it a little bit and then they stopped, and it's collecting dust. And we've heard that numerous times. I don't want to stare at a keyboard all day either.
Ben had a Tobii Dynavox that he hardly used. He used it at school, and that was it. Jade, welcome in.
Good morning.
We're probably going to end here shortly, guys. We do have a meeting to get ready for. We have a meeting. So just so you guys know, we every other Saturday, I do a stream with our Odyssey. Guy named Anthony, who created a very cool, it's a nonprofit for inclusion and accessibility in gaming, and basically community game nights, and they also create software or help promote software that's being built. So let me go back. So Anthony built some software. It's called the Overjoyed. It's called Overjoyed. It's basically an adapter of sorts that takes your mouse inputs and transforms them or turns them into, adapts them into controller inputs. So essentially you have a mouse that basically a quadrant structure, like the circular quadrant structure that pops up on your screen. All the different quadrants allow you to go directionally on a controller, and then the different buttons in each quadrant have are mapped to certain buttons on the controller. So you could play games like Mario Kart or like Peglin, or you name it. Like you could play games that are typically built for controller. So it's very cool. We had initially thought maybe Ben could use it, but we're not quite there yet. So every other Saturday I do a stream with Anthony, and it's basically a tech stream where we hang out and I break the software and like we go through and we have some cool ideas, and yeah, we just do it every now and then. So today we're doing a meeting with him, and we're going to kind of figure out some other stuff we might end up doing with him. Not sure yet. We've got to figure out what his ideas are, but we're trying to help promote his software because he has a very cool piece of software. It's the same thing like that we're doing, a little bit different. His is a little more involved and complex versus what I built. But the idea is we have this dude who built software because he needed a better way to play a game or to play games, because Anthony has a condition called Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and it's progressive. So, as he lost the ability to use his hands, he needed another way to use a controller. So he's, thought outside the box and said, how could I make something that could play a game like I used to play and keep doing what I'm doing with my friends and stuff and play some games online. And, so like he plays Mario Kart now just with the Overjoyed, and it's great. I played it. It's pretty easy to do. It's pretty intuitive. And the tool is awesome. It's $5 on the Microsoft store. I don't know if he's going to make it more available, but, we were going to talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, it's something that we want to promote and help him get out there because we think it's a very cool product. And if you guys are interested, go check it out. Maybe Nancy will drop a link to it in the chat real quick. It's called Overjoyed. It's very easy to find. Just go to the Microsoft Store on Windows and type in Overjoyed, all one word. Overjoyed.
Good afternoon from Italy.
Welcome in. Yeah, so we got to end here very shortly, guys. Next few minutes we're going to end. But if you guys have any other questions, I know usually we rant on the couch. This is our time to kind of hang out and rant for an hour or so.
Yeah, so if you guys are just tuning in, Ben was on stream earlier. He's doing great today. He talked to, you guys on stream for a little bit, but then he got bored and he was like, I want to watch TV, and yeah, I'm over it.
Ben likes to do what he likes to do. He likes to jump on stream and say hi to people, but it's not like his, it's not his favorite.
He's not a talker.
No, since he got his software and since he got his computer and he has access to his computer, he wants to do what he wants to do. And honestly, like he's gonna be a 30-year-old dude. He's allowed to have do whatever he wants to do. Me and Nancy are here to support him every step of the way. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. Obviously, we help him with things like therapies and medicines and feeding and all the stuff he needs. But when he wants to do something or he has a choice to do something, he's going to do it. So we'll never force him to do anything. But he likes hanging out with you guys for the time he does hang out with you. And we appreciate you guys coming in and asking questions. We always post stuff on social media, whether it's a reel or a carousel on Instagram or one of our posts on YouTube. We're always posting something. We do post a lot of stuff about the tech because we think it's so important. Ben, Ben's story is Ben's story, and we tell it the best we can with Ben's permission, of course, and with this idea of like giving his story some gravity or some weight, right? So that way people understand why it's so important for people to see what's being accomplished. But yeah, it's mostly about just the tech and our family and all that stuff too. So. Nancy's dropping the Overjoyed app in chat, and we're gonna head out very shortly. So go check out that our Odyssey. They have an accessible gaming controller called Overjoyed. Go check it out, and All
right, we're gonna wrap it up, and we stream on Thursdays around 10 a.m. Eastern time. We should be back next Thursday.
be on the lookout next week for the new baseball game. So if you guys saw the new baseball game Ben is getting, be on the lookout next week. I'm hoping I'll have it done this weekend. It might take a little longer, but maybe next week. Be on the lookout for the new game on Ben's Hub. I'm going to put that out for people to try. Then I'll have a whole new game, and we're going to be working on new stuff. We're going to new videos. We got a couple posts that are going to be coming out pretty soon. Yeah,
thanks for hanging out with us, because we're not the most entertaining.
No,
but we love hanging out.
We're very lame.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got to set up for a meeting. If you guys want to say bye to Ben.
Yeah, if you guys want to say bye to Ben, I'll put him on screen for a minute.
Thanks for hanging out.
Are you sleeping? I'm going to put you on camera for a second, all right? So people can say bye to you. All right? Coming in hot.
So, Ben's having a great day today. Thumbs up for a great day so far? Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Let me go end the stream downstairs. Bye, Ben. Oh, Diabolic's here. Is Diabolic going to stream? I worked out already. I was going to work out with you, but I had to get it done earlier.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Be on the lookout for the new game that's coming out. I am working my butt off to get this game done. So just so you guys can see, like, this game I'm building, it is getting there. It's going to be pretty sweet when it's done. But eventually we're going to have this cool baseball game that's going to be available on Ben's Hub that I've been working a lot on. So, yeah.
Choose your pitch.
What else? I think that's it. We got a meeting to do in about 15 minutes. And then we'll be back next Thursday. Be on the lookout for our stuff on the social medias, Instagram, TikTok, YouTubes, all the stuff. And we'll see you guys next week. So thanks for hanging out.